Hey everyone, I'm Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to talk about how every single day I purchase my new salary. And this week alone, I'm going to generate over $1,000 by selling cash secured puts, covered calls, and collecting dividends. So if you're interested in following my journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment so I can continue to grow. Now, before I jump into showing my trade history, always remember, guys, my trades are my opinions. They should never be taken as financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube documenting my journey. So let's take a look at our trade history. I always show my trade history, full transparency. Let's first take a look at the options. So I like to sell covered calls. I like to sell options. Or cash secured puts. I think that is the best way to generate income. And in my opinion, it's the most effective way to grow an account. I've grown this account by over $30,000 in 1 year just by selling options and collecting some dividends. So MSTU $10 covered call. That means I'm agreeing to sell 100 shares of MSTU for $10 per share. And just because I'm agreeing to do so, I captured $70 in premium. I did the same thing with PDYN for a $5 covered call. And then I rolled some cash secured puts. When you sell a cash secured put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. So Snapchat, Serve, and RIG, I rolled these positions to give myself more time. I'm still agreeing to buy them. I haven't changed that fact of the contract. I'm just adding more time, and because I added more time, I got paid another credit. So all in all, for options today, we collected $274, and that's only part of the income. The rest is coming in the form of our dividends, the vast majority in our monthly payers. My goal is to have it so that my monthly payers pay my entire monthly bill. So that's mortgage, student loans, and miscellaneous credit cards, things like that, food. So that is the goal for this account. We're not there yet. But this month, PDI, the Cornerstone Funds, CRF and CLM, ORC and QYLD, those are my monthly payers. And they average to about $530 this month. And I've bought so many shares of them since their ex-dividend date, which we will talk about a little bit more in this video. But I have all of this income on those monthly payers. The monthly payers alone, $530 going to hit the account. And then we have our high ultra yielders that pay weekly, which are COY and TSYY. We're going to have $123 and $163 respectively hitting the account this week on Tuesday. Now, I do want to call out, I have hit my goal investment share number for each of those, so I'm not adding any more income to them. What I do with that income is I take it and reinvest it into the more stable monthly payers. You'll see YBIT, MSTY, and Coney. Those are from last week. They don't count toward this week, but because of Christmas, everything got pushed back a day. That being said, what you don't see on this dividend for this week are the YBIT, MSTY, Coney, and ULTY. And between those four positions, I expect to get around $120 total. So all in all, I'm expecting about $900 or so in dividends by the end of the week, plus the $274 for options. So that's about $1,100, almost $1,200 for a week. That's not bad. Now, again, the vast majority this week are due to our monthly payers. So that's why we're really not opening any new options or anything like that. We are going to well exceed our goal for the week. And let's talk about now all the purchases I am making in order to pay my salary. But before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the Premium Generals. It's a wonderful group of people. And in this group, it's an exclusive group. I post content such as educational videos on how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, debit spreads. I did a video today on how I identify my next plays, things like that. And I post in here between 4 and 6 times every single week. It's $10 to join, and I got 90 videos in there by now, so tons of stuff, some education videos, private portfolio updates, every trade I make when I make it, as well as the best part, you get to be featured in every single video. So if you want to see your face, your name, go ahead and join us. It's $10. We'd love to have you. And with that being said, let's get back into that video. Okay, back in the brokerage account here. So we have some pretty lofty goals for our monthly paying funds. And the biggest goal, the most lofty in my opinion, is getting 1,000 shares of PDI. I currently have 751 shares. As you can see, I've been making daily purchases. Today, I was able to get just about 11 shares. I forgot I did that first block. So 12 shares today, which brings me up to that 751. I just want to show you an example. So 598 shares were how many I had on December 12th. A few weeks later, I have 751. Now, I'm not going to be able to continue these high-level purchases. I'll run out of cash. But I'm trying to get this to 1,000 shares by the end of March 2026. I think I can meet this goal with small daily buys. Again, if I don't make it, I don't make it. But that is a goal I'm trying to hold myself to, because once I get that 1,000 shares, that's going to be about $220 a month alone just from PDI. Then, on top of that, the Cornerstone Fund, CLM and CRF, I'm making daily purchases there as well. And I would like to get both of those up to 3,000 shares a piece, which is going to roughly get you around $320 a month each. So that's $640 plus the $220 from PDI. Right there is $840 or $860. So that is a big step in the right direction for our goals. That's by the end of 2026 for the 3,000 shares of each. I'm more focused on getting the PDI to 1,000 first, and then I can kind of disperse the cash elsewhere as needed. Just to kind of give an example of CRF, so ex-dividend date was on the 16th. I had 1,518 shares at that point. I currently have 1,650, so about 100 shares, a little over 100 shares, 132 shares since ex-dividend date, and that trend continues. So ORC, that's our monthly real estate paying. I'm not doing daily purchases here, but I did make some more purchases today. I bought 10 shares. Before that, it was about a week when I bought a couple. So I'm not doing daily shares here, but just another example, I had 200 shares on the 1st, and I'm up to 360 shares now. So I am definitely going to see a larger payout next month, and that's exactly what I want to see with these monthly payers. I want to see every month a decent enough jump in the yield. So QYLD, that's my favorite covered call ETF. I have 85 shares. I want to get that to 100. I currently on December 23rd, which was their ex-dividend day, I had 62 shares. That's literally like a week ago. I've picked up 23 shares since then, so that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to be able to buy at that rate, but again, I'll get this to 100 shares, and that's going to add, I don't know, like 20-some bucks a month for me, which is perfect. And finally, a new position in the portfolio, T-SPY, which I did make a purchase today. Did I buy 2 shares today? I did. I bought 2 shares today, which bring me up to a total of 55 shares. Their ex-dividend day for January has not been announced, but I do believe that it's going to be within the first week of January, kind of like last month. It was the first week of December. I've never owned this in any other portfolio before, so I cannot speak to how much I like it yet, but I will keep the group posted as I start to collect dividends on that. I would like to get this as well to 100 shares. My goal is to get both QYLD and T-SPY to 100 shares, and then I'm going to add XPay. I had the Premium Generals vote on which of the Round Hill funds. I selected 3 that I liked, and I had them vote on it, and they voted XPay as the next purchase. So once I get those 100 shares for those positions, I will start trying to add 100 shares of XPay. And by factoring in all these payers, the monthly payers, not XPay, but the monthly payers I just referenced, if I could start to get, by the end of 2026. My goal is to be able to collect about $1,400 a month, maybe even $1,500 a month from the monthly payers. That's my goal by the end of 2026. Like I said, the first month for this account that I've added the monthly payers, I'm collecting $530. Again, I'm not going to be able to keep purchasing at the rate I've been. I do have quite a bit of buying power with margin, $119,000. I am not about to deploy all that, but I will continue to make some daily buys and factor in the income I'm collecting from the option premiums as well as all of the distributions and dividends I'm collecting. The last thing I want to touch base on are some of the positions I have at the bottom of the portfolio here, which are YBIT, ULTY, Coney, and MSTY. Those are funds that I am not going to add any more shares to. I had some cash secured puts I sold on Coney, MSTY, and what was the other one? And Coney, MSTY, yeah, those two. And I got assigned because they did the reverse split. And when you get when a reverse split happens, your option contract no longer has 100 shares, so you can't roll it anymore. So I just got assigned. I'm not going to add to that position. YBIT, I have 100 shares after the reverse split. I'm good with that. No more needs to be added. ULTY, I had 500 shares. Now it's 50 at the 10 for 1. And I don't plan on adding any more here. If ULTY, because I know they're making changes, and I know that fund has potential. So maybe in the middle of next year or the end of next year, if this fund can actually show some consistency in terms of their stock price, lower their yield, offer some more stability, I would definitely invest back into this fund. But at current juncture, no shares will be purchased. I just take the weekly income I get from them and add them to the monthly payers. So, and that's what I'm doing with TSYY and COYY. I mean, they've really dropped in price, and that's okay. I'm not buying into them. I'm just taking the income every single week that I get from them and put them into the more reliable monthly pairs. And I always like to reference the S&P 500 for the market today. Let's see how the S&P 500 did. So down just under 2.5 points, 0.36%. So from a percent base, I was down almost 2%. So I lost the S&P today percent-wise, mostly because of those high-yielding funds that, I might change my mind and just sell them. And I'm talking about the weekly pairs, MSTY and Coney. I might just sell those two and perhaps add that money to a monthly pair. We'll see. I'm getting my first distribution from them this week. It would have been last week, but again, Christmas pushed everything back. So that's the plan. We're going to have a great income week. We will continue to purchase our salary in order to make it so that we can be financially free and everything is covered then by our monthly pairs. And with that being said, guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, I'll see you in the